Ah, thank you. See, that's why I got my crew out there. My mama done told me. We've got it now. We've got it now. Okay, so let's go ahead and start at the beginning. Hey, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com, and with audio this time. But I was just saying it's a very hot, humid, but glorious day today. And so many things are happening. Thanks, Meat Puppet. I appreciate it. I hope we've got audio now. I'm going to, I'm going to do this right now. Well, never mind. Well, yeah, I need to set this up too so I can make sure I can see what's going on. You know how it is around here. It's a crazy train sometimes. But you know, when you come to this channel, you're going to have a lot of fun, and it's going to be real. That's what I always want to make sure that we do with this. So I'm going to skip the ads, and so we can just get to it. There we go. All right, now let's get to it. So there's so many things happening this week, and that's why I'm a little frantic. So last week we had pressure washers, and today we might have the plumber stop by. So you never know what's going to happen around this house. But I'm very excited to introduce a brand new company that's new to me, and it's just really interesting to always meet the developers. And we're going to bring Danny on in just a few minutes, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of what we're going to do today. We're going to be talking about hammers and waves from Skybox Audio, and that it is a brand new collection of keyboards, 10 different keyboards, and they run in the free Kontakt player. If you don't have Kontakt, if you get this library, it'll run in the free Kontakt player, which is always a great thing. So they've got modern grands, uprights, Dulcitone, Celeste, toy pianos, OBSCURA, Relics, and electrics, and all kinds of things. And they've got an interesting way that they sampled these pianos, and we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about that. And they've got an introductory pricing on this collection that you can get in on. And I'm just playing the modern grand, and it just feels buttery with this SL88. But so let's go ahead and let's just jump right into it. I'm going to just show you briefly the interface, and I'm telling you, they did such a great job with a nice and clean interface here. And oh boy, okay. So you know what? We do all this stuff. I want to make sure that you can see everything. But this is live. This is live, and when you think you've got everything going, things happen. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Just going to make sure that you guys can see everything. Okay. But this is the interface, and they've done such a fantastic job. It's nice and clean, gives you all kinds of controls. We're going to get under the hood at some of these. But I want to go ahead and bring Danny on and just kind of give you an introduction to him and let him tell you a little bit about the company. And we're going to go listen to some sounds and talk some more, and listen to some sounds and talk some more. So Danny, this is Danny Dunlap from Skybox Audio, and say hi to everybody. Let's make sure we can hear you and everything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe give us a little bit more if you can.
Sure thing.
How's that? I'll turn myself. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, Danny,
okay,
thanks for joining me today, and I know that our viewers are excited to get to meet you and get to meet this new the new library that you guys come up with. So let's just get to know who Danny Dunlap is, and yeah, and I think you may still be able to figure that out yourself too, but let's kind of get an idea.
No, well, listen, thanks for having me. I'm a huge fan of your channel. Honestly, it's everybody loves you. Your approach is so fresh and honest, and we just appreciate you and the community just giving a real look at some of this stuff. It's been awesome. But yeah, I mean, as far as me, I've been a full-time composer for the last couple of decades. I do a lot of television, a lot of advertising, and thank goodness I've been busy for a long time. And
wow.
So, with this project, it really just came out of, I think a lot of people are sort of inspired to make their own sounds, you know, a lot, especially composers, you know. So I've been doing that for, you know, since the beginning. Really, you just kind of get in there and, you know, start making it happen. But you know, you know, it's this being a piano library. It's one of those. It's the old joke, right? Like, oh, who needs another piano library?
Why we've got,
You know,
we don't
exactly.
have we don't have enough.
Why do it? Well, I mean, the reason we started this project is kind of twofold. You know, firstly, you know, yeah, I mean, I have all the same libraries and have been using them for years that everybody else has, and you know, I may be alone in this, but you know, it's tough sometimes to get a piano to sit in your track. You know, no matter how many you have, you know, you're constantly, well, maybe I'll try this one. Well, that one doesn't quite fit quite right, and maybe we'll try that one. You know, and so really, what this started out as is just, you know, a mission to sort of make something that was flexible enough to really kind of sit in any kind of situation. So
right. So if you can't find it, make it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, for sure. And so when it really took off was, you know, I hired a new assistant maybe, gosh, 5 years ago now, and you know, he looked good on paper, seemed like a real nice guy, and then we, you know, we get to meeting and talking, and we have a lot of the same interests, and I'm a real tinkerer, and he's a real tinkerer too, and you know, he put us together in a room, and all of a sudden we're making all kinds of crazy stuff together, and it just sort of evolved out of that. My kids, knowing that you know, I'm always tinkering with stuff, one year they gave me a 3D printer for my birthday, and this was years ago now. And that was sort of the beginning of this madness. You know, just started building all kinds of things, and then my partner, his name's Wurlitzer, just a beautiful person and an outrageous genius.
Wow.
But you know, I had printed a finger and attached it to a mic stand and put a solenoid on it, and I, you know, had written a little bit of Arduino code, and I took it and I was like, hey, look what I did, you know, and it just, you know, was pressing a key on the piano. And he said, yeah, that's cool. Let me see what I can do. And then he went home and just for fun, you know, rewrote all my code, of course. And, you know, cause he's a way better coder than I am. And came back and, you know, I was like, hey, maybe we're onto something here. And so he, you know, I don't think this would have ever happened. I mean, well, it certainly would have ever happened without him, but you know, for anybody who's just, you know, getting to know this library, one of the unique things about it was, you know, we sampled the whole thing with a robot that we built.
Well, let's talk about that. But let's give a shout out to the Dunlap Academy is on board, and they just sent us a super chat for $5. They sent us a $5 super chat. So thank you for that. We're excited to have. Yeah, so Danny, you're kind of hitting some buttons with me too, as far as being a tinkerer, because I used to blow up electronics when I was growing up, and I said if me and Heinbach ever got together when we were kids, it would have been kind of crazy. And the beautiful thing I think that's happening is it's like I was saying the other day, it's like a renaissance type of thing, a digital renaissance where technology is becoming so available for musicians, and musicians are connecting with that, and they're taking us into, like you're taking us into very exciting territory with sampling and with like taking these risks and producing libraries like this. But it's very excited. Well, yeah, man, it's awesome. It's awesome to have you here, Dunlap Academy, and we've got Dana Nielsen, and Meat Puppet. You know, all of these names are kind of funny sometimes because you want to know who's behind all these names. But we're so glad to see you, Marius. It's good to see you. And Dana Nielsen, we said hello to you guys. We just want to make sure that you guys know that we appreciate your coming with us today. But before we talk about the sampling robot, I want us to just look at this, just this modern grand. So we just pulled this up. You can see this. You know, Hammers and Waves comes in 4 different instrument NKIs, and the acoustic has a modern grand, a Relic upright, and a UX upright. Now I'm thinking that UX upright is more like a U4 type of upright. Would that be correct, or?
Well, it was the instrument that we sampled was it's a UX3, which is a U3, but it's got the radial bracing in the back. It's like it's only made for the Japanese market. It's just got a little bit more resonance and a little fuller sound.
Okay, we're going to find that out. And then the electric, has the Wurlitzer EP200, and then the Rhodes 73, the suitcase. And that's been something I've been running into, is that running into a lot of Rhodes libraries coming out, and this is really interesting. And then we've got a prepared piano. You've got the upright, the Relic upright, doing some different things, muted, and then the OBSCURA Grand is, I think you guys ran some felt in there.
That's a felted Grand, right? And the muted Relic is, it's a gift. It's a gift that I'm passing on to. I mean, a lot. I'm definitely not the first person to do this, but I mean, felting a piano is one thing, but I've got this old Shaft Brothers upright in the studio, and I've gotten a lot of mileage over the years of just taking a piece of gaffer's tape and just putting it right between the strings and the hammers, and it gives this really cool plucky sound.
Okay.
And I've gotten a lot of mileage out of that, just when you're looking for something that's not quite pizzicato, but has a little, not ukulele, but it has a little, flavor to it. It's a great alternative. So that I really wanted to, for me more than anything else, wanted to get that in there. It's a very useful and fun sound.
Cool. And lastly, this is kind of interesting. We've got the chimes. So like the Dulcitone and the Celeste and the toy piano is a really interesting category that you don't see a lot of. So, but let's go ahead. I'm just going to load up the Modern Grand, and so it just comes as a single NKI, but you click that. I feel like the weatherman again. We're having a low pressure system move here in the preset area, and so you click that, and that opens a world of presets. And I love the categories. It helps you to really find out what you need, and then you can favorite whatever you need. But I'm just going to pull up this Modern Grand, and let's just kind of play this and see where this takes us. And then we're going to talk about that sampling robot. And I'm just, yeah. So here we go. So that's just for you. That's just for you. And the thing is, I always talk about this SL88, but how it gives me the ability to play the full dynamic range on these libraries, to get the most out of them, because I can just barely touch that. And then because you guys sampled those very soft triple P layers, that's what gives it that thing. And then you can kind of keep building that up, and it takes you through the whole range. So you're not thinking about velocity layers, because it just feels like it just kind of is flowing right up to where it needs to be.
That's so great to hear. I mean, that was definitely a big part of development. Just I don't know, we can get into the robot, but the robot is what makes all that possible, that natural sort of velocity,
the consistency response. The consistency.
Yeah, the soft layers are quite literally the absolute softest possible, like the softest possible note that you can make on any instrument. That's the way the robot actually calibrates itself. And so when we set it down in front of a keyboard, it goes note by note, and it'll keep upping the voltage and upping the newtons of force until it hears an actual strike of the note, and then it says, okay, that's as soft as I can possibly play, and then it'll go all the way up to as hard as it can play. So that's the difference in the approach is like, and the difference in the feel is that, instead of, looking at waveforms or analyzing waveforms and saying, okay, this amplitude's louder than that one, this one's louder than that one, this one's louder than that one. Okay, we got our set of 16 because each one's louder than the next.
Yeah.
This instead applies the exact same curve of force to each note. And so what you end up with is a really honest, like, recreation of what the instrument feels like to play, like really what it really feels like, not an approximation of what the velocities might be. And so to me, I mean, it's all about the, details, right? I mean, to me, that it just feels different and a little bit more, you just feel more connected, to the thing.
And that's important. So we've got a couple of, okay, so Meat Puppet's real name is Trevor. So thank you for that. That helps me a lot. And Austin, so Cherry Audio just came out with their memory mode. So I'll definitely look into that. That's a lot of fun. And Neiman, it's good to see you. But it's just got it's got a nice delicate sound. So this is like, is it like a C3 or a C6? Is that what
C6.
It's a C6. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of like a, not into that 7, but not in the smaller. It's kind of a nice, middle of the road.
I think it's like 6'11".
Yeah. Almost 7.
Almost 7 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just saw this, thing, I guess it's called the Anderson piano. It's an 18-foot grand piano. And I couldn't imagine. That's crazy.
Wow.
But
sounds incredibly practical.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sample. We need to sample that. So let's just look at this. We've got all of these things. The interface, is so nice and clean laid out. You just click on any of those text underneath, and it takes you through all the different things. So we have like a different mic perspectives where we can take this close and far. I'm going to just, okay, so right now it is all the way over to the close.
Mic, that you're listening to.
Now let me take it over.
You can actually command click and it'll go to the center.
Or control click if you're on Windows.
Windows. That's right.
So this kind of gives you a blend of both the close and the far.
Mm-hmm.
Now the pre-strike, that is like the sample offset. So
again,
we can,
if you just control click, it'll go to, or command click, it'll go to 0.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean that function is actually something that I fought hard to keep in. It's not for performance.
No.
It's, more. So if you drag down and just control click on it, it'll zero out. There you go. So
yeah. So when you, it's all that stuff that happens before the
strike of the note, right? So it was really tricky to implement that in a consistent way, especially given all the other features that the engine has. And it was a sort of a pet project of mine. I kind of drove the other developers kind of nuts to like, no, we can't. Can we please just get rid of it? No, we can't. I can't do it. So, what its intent is, after you've sort of, made your track or have gotten your performance that you like, then you simply turn that on and then, however, in your DAW of choice, offset the MIDI 200 milliseconds, in the future to the left. And then what you will get is you'll get all of those sounds that occur before the note. And again, it's like, these subtleties. To me, it's like magic. It's like fairy dust, and it's global on all the instruments. So the Rhodes and the Whirly and all the chime, especially on the Rhodes, man, like there's something about that extra little like millisecond of sound before the thing. It just like, I don't know, it takes me to like a super happy place. So I'm
Wow.
excited to share that with it's really you know, tough to play with it.
It's hard to think 200 milliseconds in the future. Yeah.
But you'll have to take my word for it. Is when you get your performance laid down and you turn that on, you're going to be happy.
Okay, so let's go ahead and just take that. And so when it's off, it disables it, and then that just adjusts the amplitude of those little pre-attack
that part
sounds.
Of the sample. Exactly.
Okay, cool. Now so all of this hyperrealism is going to be tied into the to this top here,
the
right?
Source layer, yeah.
Okay.
So there are three sound layers. There's the source, which is the original instrument.
Okay.
And then we can get into, which I think if you want to, we can spend a little more time here because there's more stuff to check out. But then the other two sound sources are called Swarm, which is our deep granular synthesis, and then our Fractals, which is a sort of motion engine arpeggiator. But if we go back to source, I want to share just a couple of other things that you may or may not have gotten into. So we're listening to the mics down the center, and the color knob is just what you would think it would be, but it's, you know, very musical. It's a subtle.
It's like a tonal shift.
Even on either side. It's really just to help you sort of sit something in a mix or get a little, you know, take a little bottom end out or make something a slightly darker. Try to really make it a musical.
So would it be like a tilt type of EQ or just like a tonal?
Yeah, it's a tilt. Exactly. It's a tilt type of EQ with like a little bit of saturation. There's some special sauce in there, but yeah.
Yeah, it's subtle,
and
but it's like what you said.
It's meant to be. And then the shift. You've seen this in some other libraries, but this is sort of a timbre shift. But the thing that we did with it is, you know, a lot of libraries sort of govern how far that goes. And we sort of open that wide up so that you can really take it to an extreme. So if you turn that all the way to the left, for example, and play, you're going to start hearing a really dark sound.
I love those. I love being able to shift things like that because it totally changes the character. Now let's go to the opposite.
Right.
End. Let's go to the opposite end. And
oh yeah, you get into some banjo territory.
Okay, yeah, you said.
But the thing, in more subtle amounts. I mean, in my own. You know, I mean, obviously we've been developing this for a while, and I'm a working composer, and I'm using these every day. And one of the things that I love most about that control is I use it in place of EQ a lot of times.
Yeah.
So if something's not sitting quite right, I'll shift the timbre one way or the other, and it's like magic, like how it can like really just click into, you know, the rest of your mix. It's pretty awesome.
It just kind of brightens it up a little bit when you go over to that right side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost gives it that shorter sound. It like shortens it or makes it a little tighter, a little brighter. Okay, cool.
It's fun.
And then shape.
Yeah, that's just that's pretty interesting too. So if you go to the left, it'll give you a fixed note duration.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
And so the thing that's a little different about this as opposed to just a ADSR is when you set that duration, and if you click the label below, you can all the time-based things. When you see that little metronome, that's a sync. So you can drag it. Say if you dragged it to 16th notes,
cool,
or whatever, then you're going to get. If you go to the right, it's going to do a little something different. But if you go to the left, the right it takes the attack off. So it's basically like an envelope control in one knob.
Oh,
but
that's
the cool
cool
thing about the shortening of the notes is that it plays the release samples. So it's not just stopping the note. It'll play a 30-second note and also play the release of the sample. So it's just neat for doing staccato passages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at this, it's like, oh, that's nice and clean, and then you go, ah, there you go. And
no, there's a lot to unpack. It's definitely holds a lot under the hood.
Okay, let's go ahead and click on one of these other.
Play some of the presets. I mean, this is the thing, right? It's like it's insanely flexible and from just the straight up stuff, patches, but also the presets are incredible. And we employed some partners on making the presets that have made presets for a lot of the instruments that we all love. And it was really fun to work with some peeps who have really spent a lot of time at their craft making presets.
So this is AETHER simulations, and you can hear like we've got a little bit of the swarm and fractals going on. A little CPU. Yeah, all of those, especially when you're live streaming and running these complex performance engines like this. So if you hear a little crackle or whatever, that's what that is. Because there's lots of stuff going on here.
Right.
Lots of stuff. Yeah, I love the sounds that have like the motion in them.
So yeah, so if you go back to the presets, you can actually isolate those with the meta tag. So you can go to the rhythmic tag, which is right there, and then those are the ones that have that those sort of qualities. It's important to me. A couple things with the presets, to be able to find what you're looking for quickly is something that as a somebody who's working every day, that's just you got to be able to get to it. If you can't find it, it doesn't exist.
Right.
So
right. And it's a nightmare because they say you've got 500 presets or something like that.
Yeah, it's the whole complete bundle. There's a 500 presets.
So just a nightmare to try to dive through all of that.
Yeah, and I mean they're not. The thing about it is like again, like a lot of time was spent. They're all usable and playable. That was like one of the most important things to me is like they're actually playable and useful presets. There's not a lot any like we tried to stay away from the like look what we can do kind of presets and opted for more functional sort of
things that you're going to actually use in a project, things that'll kind of go so this is my
litmus test for a preset is always like I play a note and then if I want to play another note, that's a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, this is hammered sequences, and so space, you've got some delays and reverb, and we've got the the fractals are doing some things. And so let's just let's lay into this and see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, since we chose the rhythmic options, all of these are going to have some sort of pulse going. So longer notes are probably better.
That's fat, man. the body. You just hearing the body of that. It's nothing wimpy about that.
Great.
I don't know why I'm thinking Despicable Me, or it's like okay, so it's like if Gru and the Mission Impossible guy and James Bond all kind of collided in an intersection together. You know, it's like all that mashed up. Because that little thing happening in the background is a lot of fun. Yeah, Ohm Home. Yeah, the tags are a godsend for sure, and cyber things are very busy. Yeah, the CPU is choking up. Yeah, because there's a lot of things going on. It takes a lot of processing and things to make all of this stuff happen. But on top of this, we're doing video and live streaming as well. So this is CRYSTALISIS. And let's see. Yeah, we've got the swarm thing going on. Wow. Okay. Aha. Okay, so let's check it out.
It's deep.
Yeah, yeah, and this is just the piano. This is just the acoustic piano. So
right.
now that's nice. Yeah. No, I've not heard anything like that. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
So if you go, try that Dark Winston patch and take us back home a little bit. That'll give you an idea of just the flexibility of the normal instrument. This is just a more moody, more intimate. Beautiful playing. So I can hear in there. If you go back into the source, I'll show you one of the cool things about that sound is it's definitely got the strike feature on it. So if you click that arrow next to the strike, you can see the arrow over all the way. Yeah, right there.
Oh,
so this is an extra attack layer that you can add to sort of give a different vibe to the sound. So.
That's what I was feeling. That little extra something.
Yeah.
On there.
So like if you click the tack sample. You know that's just down in the bottom left there. Yeah. That'll add like a little bit of attack piano attack. And then, there's some other things too, even the 8-bit or the knives. Yeah, those were some throwing knives that we put between the hammers and the. All of these are actual objects placed between the hammers and the strings.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna turn the space off a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And let's see. And yeah, so when you hit those high velocity layers, you can.
That's funny.
That's
right.
Cool. And
So
rivets.
it's just another tool to sort of.
Yeah, everybody's doing that kind of thing. But like you said before, if it, it's got to make sense. It's just don't do something just to say, oh, we've got this. Yeah, but it just does add so much. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. My wife won't let me come with the purchase. So, but I do want to just take a minute to welcome everybody again. We're talking with Danny Dunlap from Skybox Audio. That's it. And we're going to have a giveaway, and we're going to give away 2 licenses we're going to try to give away 2 licenses. And the way that you do this is that we're going to have you, after the live stream is over, to leave a comment below. And leave a comment below. Make sure you stay until the end or after the live stream is over. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment below. And in about a week or so, I'm going to come and pick out two winners, and we'll notify you I'll just reply to your comments if you won, and I'll kind of post it in the description, in this description or a pinned post in there as well. Make sure that you follow Skybox Audio on their Facebook and Instagram to get updates and all that kind of thing, and to learn more about get into some more depth. But this has just been so much fun. And if it's your first time visiting the channel, man, please subscribe. It's been wonderful to see how things are going, and I just really appreciate it. So I tell you what, because just the acoustic piano alone is just fabulous. I mean, just what I'm hearing. Just now, where did you guys record this? Where was it recorded?
These are all recorded here in Los Angeles, at my studio that we're looking at right now, Skybox Studios.
Okay, cool. Now, so you got to tell me. You got to tell me where did you get the name Skybox? How did that come about?
That's actually what my wife calls my studio. I'm lucky to have a separate building off of the house, and it's more of a modern kind of architecture, and so it's very much just a big box on stilts.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what she just started calling it. And it's funny, we had many other names for the company, and when we would do polls, of people to say, oh, well, what do you think of this name? What do you think of that name? Like Skybox Audio was always the winner. It wasn't the name that I wanted because it was just what my wife used to call the studio for fun, but it just sort of stuck. So that's how we ended up with that. So we're leaning into it.
Yeah, own it. You just got to own it.
That's right.
Okay, so Danny, let's just take a look at a couple more of the acoustic piano. Where would you suggest us go next with the acoustic?
I guess since we've sort of, why don't you go to the muted Relic to get a real different flavor?
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's
going to be in the prepared. Oh, if you want to stay up top, you can just do the regular Relic. It's wonderful, vibey, old piano with a lot of character that gets used plenty. I actually just used this sample yesterday for like a 60s Aretha gospel type thing, and just cranked up the room mics, and
wow,
it's so fun. Yeah, like if you go
okay, so somebody's asking, Steve is asking, how many gigs is the whole collection with all the pianos?
So it's big. Each one of these is deep sampled. So 16 velocity layers per instrument, and so the entire complete collection compressed is 53 gigabytes.
Wow.
So it's on the bigger side.
So the download is around like 20 something.
Well, I mean, that's why we honestly the size of it is why we had to break it up into four products because Native Access just couldn't handle us all. I
Yeah.
wanted it to be just one big tome, but they couldn't handle it. They couldn't handle the truth. But we made it work.
You can handle it. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so it's 53 gigs. And like I said, it's the unique thing about it is it's hard to wrap your head around exactly how much stuff is in here, but it
Wow.
really is a complete collection of keyboards that are very it's very premium. Like I mean basically it's what I would want to use every single day, and I actually do.
Wow.
But yeah, I would say if you go back to the presets and load one that's called The Devil and Mr. 4-Track. So they're all alphabetical, which I like. So you'll find it under D, actually. I think it's just Devil. It's not. Oh, no, it is the. Look at that. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Now that's one that's like I happened to use yesterday.
Oh, man. Okay. Yeah, we've got the infamous pedal noises, and so we can adjust those in this realism thing here.
I tell you what's unique about what we did with the pedal noises is, and I'm not sure anybody else is doing this, but the pedal script actually listens to your playing.
Oh.
And if you're playing softly, it plays a soft pedal sample.
Okay.
And if you're playing loudly and getting into it, it plays a louder pedal sample. Because man, nobody likes the big ka-thunk, So in order to try and take care of that, we did we actually did velocity sampling on the pedal as well.
Okay, so I've got a variable sustain pedal. So would that matter?
I don't know.
Okay, we're gonna
a variable sustain pedal, meaning it sends continuous.
It's a continuous controller because some libraries use half pedaling, or well, you know what? We're going to find out.
Right? Yeah. I'm sure whatever whatever it is when you hit the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just that ode. Here again, I'm hearing that rich low end. Well, I sing because I'm happy. Okay, I just see my polyphony going, and so you know what that means. Okay, I'm gonna do because I have all 10 fingers on the keyboard. Okay, yeah, the max is at 1024. But I sing because I'm free. Yes, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he watches over me. You get me preaching, I have to pass the plate, That's, yeah, because that's just great. Why should I feel discouraged? Why should the shadows come? See, because music and instruments take you to places. It takes you places. And we got the devil in the title, but we're going to cast it out in the name of Jesus,
That patch was inspired by an artist named Daniel Johnston.
Yeah.
And his documentary was called The Devil and Daniel Johnston, so that was
Oh
the
yeah,
inspiration for that.
yeah. And listen to all that juicy stuff happening after those releases. So, Andrea, this is the Relic upright. Now, this is this upright that you were talking about. That's a like an antique or just a classic.
Yeah, it's from the late 1800s. It's just got a lot of vibe, and you know, we just had to get it in there. It just, again, you know, it's like you try and, you know, I don't know, on my journey, it's like I learned sort of late in life, unfortunately, that when you find an instrument that you connect with and feel special, you should, you know, hang on
Absolutely.
to it. You know? And when I was younger, I let a lot of those go. You know, you go into a guitar store or you know, or a music store, and you find a thing, and you just have that moment where you're like, man, this is really great. And then you put it back up, and then you walk out of there, and it's, you know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years before it happens again. You know, so it's just one of those pianos that just has a thing, and
it's those moments. It's those moments, and the thing is, you might not have it again, and that's the thing. So that's great. And the thing is, it's great that you're in a position where you can capture that, and let us experience that as well. So it's not like just one instrument. It's just like you've got it, and then when we have it, we experience that same joy and that same experience that you had. Man,
I hope so.
It's amazing. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's see. So let's get another. What's another good preset for this Relic upright?
Let's see. What would be something that would be on the different side? Why don't you try that MINDHUNTER? That's going to be more of a sound design kind of, you know, composery patch.
And the thing is, I improvise everything. Everything is just like, we didn't sit down an hour before. So like, this is like, when I hear this coming into these, it causes something to happen. It just takes you someplace, and that's. Danny Dunlap, a man on a mission. Finding an ancient relic upright, he dives into the mysteries that it contains. It kind of sounds like Guy Michael Moore. It's like he does all kinds of crazy things like that. You know. He's like.
You might have just pitched a show for the History Channel. That sounds pretty convincing.
Chip and Joanna Gaines, fixer-upper, piano style. But see, you've already got the shiplap going on this thing already. But see, listen to that. And see, those little ideas just can trigger a whole arrangement or something, or set this tone.
Yeah, so we spent a lot of time
and you can tell
weeding out the dodgy presets.
And as you go up, that was MINDHUNTER. Hammers and waves. Okay, so hammers and waves. So why that?
I mean, it just try to come up with a name that's sort of, because it's a 10 instrument collection, you know, sort of encapsulate everything, and at its most basic, that's what all of the instruments have in common, right? They all are hitting with a hammer and making waves.
Okay,
it
cool.
Just kind of came, and I try and, you know, not think that it's, you know, related to, I have a surf obsession, so I don't think, I try to make it not related to that at all. But yeah, I think
Okay,
that's
cool.
because it just
Let's go to that upright is just beautiful.
thanks.
And let's go to the UX upright,
Oh,
and
sure.
let's just let's check in the chat. Yeah, good. Okay, so okay, let's just see what here.
Check that.
Okay, I heard this in the chat. Oh Lord, my God. Okay. When I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made, I see the stars, and I hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. When Christ shall come with shouts of acclamation to take me home, what joy will fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration and there proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Man. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Man, that is
a good one, right?
a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think that song might become a classic down the road if we give it a couple of hundred years more. I think we might have a classic on our hands. But but you know what? I've played many an upright in those churches around where I grew up, and some uprights weren't as nice sounding as this one. One upright I remember trying to tune it with a pair of vice grips, and you know what? That didn't work. That didn't work out very well.
It was a dangerous endeavor. Yeah, no, I personally love the sound of this one. The engineer that we worked with, on this is actually, he popped into the chat, Dana Nielsen.
Yes.
He engineered these sessions. He's a Grammy-nominated engineer, surf buddy of mine. Just happens to be a big shot engineer, but we're buddies. And he nailed this one, man. It's just a workhorse. It's beautiful.
So microphones. What kind of microphones did you guys use? Any like?
Oh, all sorts of things. You know, anything from I mean, really. I mean, all the stuff, you know, U67s, U47s.
You got some ribbons?
Ribbons, absolutely.
Okay.
44BX and some 77DX ribbon mics, and just I'm glad that it was his job to sift through all that stuff and pick that's another thing, you know, our point of view on the stuff is, you know, 2 mic positions. You get a close, you get a far, you know. We do the work for you and make sure that each one of them sounds good.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the far mic position, and let's just listen to how that sounds like. Yeah. So you instantly kind of get that spatial. So I'm bumping into something here.
Huh. bumping into something. I love how you put that.
Yeah.
Not sure. I can't really see enough to know what's
I'm not getting
there,
any. I'm not getting any discs things going on, and the maximum voice count is it's all the way. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to go 2400. Why not?
Oh my gosh! Look out, everybody.
Let's go see what. But that's not going to be your typical. You know, I just jump in with both hands and both feet.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That sounds great.
Yeah.
So just to go to the you know, if you wouldn't mind, we touch a little bit on the swarm, which I think is a really unique. If you go to the presets, why don't you load up? Let's see, what would be a good one? Well, if you want to go, why don't you load up Clunky Nightmare?
Oh,
that's in the C's there.
I see that. I see that. Yeah.
Ah, I see what you did there.
But
So, if you hold out a chord, you're gonna hear this granular synthesis come in, and so if you go to the swarm page, you can see now these aren't special samples. This is actually being synthesized out of the original sounds. So what you can do is you can drag that XY pad around and really change the timbre of you know.
And that's assignable. Is that
down and to the left is going to be dark, and up and to the right is going to be brighter.
So is this assignable? Is that
it is? Yeah.
How would we do that?
You can do that in the settings. Yeah.
So
you can assign it.
So that would be.
If you'd like to assign it, in the top left there's a little arrow. That's the to save the patch.
Okay.
There you go. Hit that little all the way to the left. Hit the arrow. Now hit it again, and you're gonna find the settings. So then you can change the swarm XY and set it to whatever you like.
Okay. So
you can learn.
So just
go down to learn, and then you can move whatever controller you'd like.
The problem with an XY control, because the SL88 has that, because as soon as I hit learn.
Oh, right. You got to be very careful about.
See, because it picked up 64. Let's see. So 19.
Oh,
there we go. There we go.
All right.
I had a little steady hand. There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Now you're driving.
That is so cool. See, it's got that real pure sound, but then it sneaks up and brings in that just sneaks up there. That's really cool. I love.
But to highlight it even. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I just love being able to get my hands on a control like that.
It looks cool. So yeah, just to highlight a little more, back out to the presets and load the one it's called. It starts with a B, Bending Time.
Okay.
Now it's going to be an extreme example, I think, of the swarm, if I remember correctly. It's very pitch modulated, so prepare your ears. Again, the swarm is the paddy stuff, so the longer tones is going to sort
So someone asked, you can adjust the intensity of the orbit by these
Yes,
controls
that's
here.
over to the right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the rate, and then yes, you can adjust the intensity of the orbit.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we can go in a negative amount, and yeah. Okay. And you can see the little shadow kind of altering its position.
And maybe if you turn the source knob all the way down, and then we can just hear what's going on in the background. And turn the swarm up.
Let me go back to, let me just load that again just to get...
It's fine. But the cool thing is you know, that you know, it's being synthesized, so
yeah,
there's a lot of flexibility to, you know, to the sound. It's not just a sample of a pad or something. It's actually being made from tiny grains of the original sample. So I find that you know, like, it's very homogeneous.
Yeah. So if you're wanting to purchase the instrument, go ahead and use the link in the description, because that's going to help support the channel and let the guys at Skybox know that you guys are watching, and it just helps us to keep doing what we're doing. So I just wanted to point that out separate. Use the link in the description if you grab this. So so he said Clunky Nightmare sealed the deal for him. So
that's great. Well, you know, Simeon's got a lot of lights. He's got to keep the lights on in there. Look at all the lights.
The lights. Yeah. And yeah, that's cool. Okay. So that's the UX upright. Is there another patch in the UX upright that you
sure,
think
you move down to that next one, BLEEP STRUMMER. That's a great, just to, you know, play it'll do an arpeggio for you. So just play a quick little stab.
Oh. That's cool. That's kind of cool. So this is the fractals. Fractals are it's the arpeggiator, right?
Yeah, essentially. Yeah, it's got some cool features. It's got the XY as well, so you can adjust the timbre of the.
So bottom left is dark. Top right is the brightest. Okay. So
right.
Okay.
It's kind of the vibe.
Okay, so that sounds. Almost like it's almost sound like a Yangchen or something like that with that.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When is a piano not a piano? When it's a BLEEP STRUMMER, and you can go all kinds of crazy places.
That's right.
Well, Clock of the Lamb. What is? Let's just listen to that. That's kind of interesting. Okay, so it's like that ticking. It's like a nice little syncopated thing.
Right, because in the fractals layer, there's also that strike layer that you have in source. So you can add an attack layer. You go to the bottom left of the design section, and you see a little arrow where the strike, and so you can actually add those additional attack sounds to the fractals there too. So that's what's going on here.
That last thing got into that Asian world music thing.
Yeah, man. Pentatonics are where it's at.
And see.
That's great. One neat feature about about the fractals is if you see all the way on the left underneath the XY pad, there's that skip. If you turn that up, yeah, there you go. If you crank that up, what that's going to do is that that eliminates the lower parts of the voicing. So if you just on the there you go. So if you go up 2, now if you play octaves in your left hand, those aren't going to get added to the arpeggio. So
Okay, so it
so
isolates. So you can isolate the
so
octave.
you can play. So basically, you can have an ostinato going in the right hand, like a chord, and then you can change the bass notes, and those don't get added to the arpeggio. So it's kind of useful.
That's cool. And it goes up pretty.
Yeah, it'll just calculate whatever the bottom two notes are that you're playing.
Oh, okay. So it's going to intelligently know that it's going to kind of filter those out.
Yeah, whatever
wow.
you're playing in the bottom. Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Those strike layers, I think, just add that little extra something, that percussiveness in there. I think this really, really cool. Yeah,
it's fun to be able to play with those.
So, so someone was, so you guys offer like, okay, so someone said there about maybe a try before you buy option, and I don't think that that's available.
No, unfortunately not. But you know, I realize we're a new company. We are having a 14-day return policy. If you don't like it, you can return it in 14 days. So
that's good. So Steve, that's
not quite try before you buy, but
yeah,
that's as good as we can do with the constraints that we have with
I
NI
think
and
that's
stuff.
good. Then let's see. Okay, so and then Cyber mentioned, so there's a 4 payment, so you can break it up into 4 payments.
That's right. Through our store, you can break it up into 4 payments of about $68 and change over 4 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, for the intro pricing for sure.
And the intro pricing goes until
the end of August.
Until the end of August, which August 23rd will be our 35th wedding anniversary. So just right around that area there. Yeah, man.
My 17th is tomorrow.
Wow.
17th anniversary. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
there we go.
That's great. Okay, so I've got to play this for you. Oh, how we danced on the night we were wed. The stars in the sky, not a word was said. Darling, I held you so close in my arms. Yeah, the anniversary. Yeah, I could do. Yeah, okay, cool.
The hardest part about being on your show is I can't play along. It's killing me. It's no fun to watch you have such a good time, and I just got to sit here like a floating head. Next time we'll figure out a way to jam.
We'll figure out. Yeah, you fly me out to LA, and we can go to Galaxy's Edge or Avengers Campus, and
there you go.
Have some fun. Okay, yeah. So there's no doubt that you guys have poured such a heart into this, because I can hear it coming out.
Right.
Okay, let's jump into the electrics.
Yeah, check something out.
And let's go to the Wurlitzer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Love this one.
And thank you guys so much for sticking around, and we appreciate it. It's just like, you go on adventures. When I say this is not going to be a long one, yeah, my wife says, no, I don't believe you. So this is just the default. Oh yeah. You got to get that out of the way. But see, it's there. It's just there. You don't have to force that out of it. It's just right there.
Yep. That sounds good.
And just listen how clean that is. It is just nice and clean. Okay. Oh.
One of my favorite things about the electric pianos is the amp section. Just being a user, this was something that we were really proud of.
Wow.
Go into the source, you can where the acoustics have the close and far. This has got the DI, and then it's also got an amp.
Okay.
So if you put that halfway, or we can go all the way if you like, but you can go into the amp section. If you click the label under there, it's one of my favorite things. Is we took a lot of time choosing the different cabinets and such, but we also recorded matching room mics to all the emulations. So if you take that and drag the slider over to the far side, the one down in the bottom right there. Oop. So you go source, then click on the amp, the label under there. Then you over on the right hand side where it says close and far.
Yeah.
Yeah, drag that all the way to the far, and so you're gonna get all the room mics only for the amp, which I really love.
It just gives you a sense of space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you can, all the close. So it's got a ribbon.
Right.
Yeah, that's a
little... you got 5 different mic choices there.
Oh man, I love it. The dynamic microphones, but I just dynamic, like the 57, the SM57, probably the you can run it over with a truck and it still sound good.
That's right.
So the U47, is that like a
Yeah, that's actually in my personal collection, that microphone. It's a 1958 U47. It's a really special mic. But yeah, so on each one of the mics you can choose a different cab. So you can mix and match. I like, let's see, even the internal, the built-in one. I like the 145B actually cabinet. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got that nice bite to it.
Yeah. If you go back to the source, you can see we did all the mechanical noise as well. Down at the bottom, you can turn it up, bottom left.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is just a microphone of the actual sound of the keys and stuff, which is fun.
It's just those little extra spices that that go a long way. That's great. So what are some of your favorite EB200 patches?
Oh, sure. This is, this takes, I love a lot of these. One of my favorite ones, I think, is called The Leader. I think it's The Leader or Leader. Let's see, I can't remember.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And now this is a more modern, kind of a lead, almost like a lead patch, but I just dig it, man. I get a lot of,
oh yeah.
I just like it.
It's got some stuff to it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hearing that air, and that's in that's got it in those layers, those extra.
Right, that's the strike layer.
Yeah.
Just makes it into something new. But I love playing, just playing chords in the middle section of the keyboard, like some nice open voicings. I just love the way it sounds. Yeah.
And I love using that voice, just open it up like that.
Oh yeah. I mean, as a bass player, that's one of the only voicings you can really play on the bass.
It's kind of a fluty sound with that little percussion. Yeah, man.
I dig that one.
That's cool. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the suitcase.
Sure.
Well, not literally.
Moving right along. Let's jump into the suitcase.
Yeah. We went on a cruise to Alaska a couple years ago, and we got a suitcase, and it was huge. And my wife was actually able to kind of get in there, but it was like, honey, don't worry. They paid for your ticket, so you don't have to worry about doing that.
Word.
Okay, now this is going to be something. So tell us about the this Rhodes here.
Well, again, it's one of those. This Rhodes doesn't belong to me. It belongs to a good friend, and. Same thing with the Wurlitzer. It's like lucky enough to play with a lot of good musicians and do a lot of sessions and stuff. And you come into contact with a lot of Rhodeses and Wurlitzers and things. And, but every once in a while, there's just that one that just has that thing. And you're just like, that's the one. So when we were going to sample it, I called my buddy up. He had just had it serviced by Ken Rich, who's like the guy out here, obviously in LA. And it just... I don't know. It's just one of those ones. It's just like I said, my simple sort of test is like if I play, do I want to keep going? You know what I mean? And it's like it just has to like suck me in. I want to get lost in it, So
yeah,
it's a pretty simple test. But this is really great Rhodes. It's so killer, and it came out so good. Very rich, but still chimey.
Yeah, it's got some beef. It's got some beef to it, but it still retains that.
My favorite patch with the Rhodes, it's called Sunday Wax. Like, ooh. I love that patch a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, Sunday Wax is where it's at.
Oh man, Ulysses, thanks for subscribing, and Daniel, this is a lot of fun. That's what I love. I love this, and it makes it so great to have Danny with us as well. It's like just like a co-pilot, because he designed the plane, and I'm flying the plane, and he designed it, so it's great.
You actually commented on this patch. In our installation video, we're lucky enough to have the Larry Goldings playing this patch on the installation video. He was kind enough, it's a jam that he had sent us really early on in development, and I hit him up and I said, Larry, can we please use that jam that you did on the installation video?
Oh man, patch. Yeah. It was incredible.
Super burning. Larry's the best.
Yeah, incredible. I'm going to just check. Yeah, so we got a lot of cool. Okay, so Secret had asked, is it possible to define the type of room space of performance, like jazz, bar, club, hall, for the impulse response types? So that might be in the space.
Sure. This is another place where we really went deep. I think I spent about a month assembling these reverbs, just going insane, just listening to because there's one thing that bad reverb is just not allowed. It can just really ruin things. So the selection ranges from small rooms to just big washes to springs, and the C, the ones with the C at the prefix are the more creative ones that are a little bit more adventurous. But you can see there's a big selection as far as the room mics for the amp tone. That is literally just the response of the room mics in the room where the instrument was recorded. So that just sounds how it sounds. But obviously you can add any number of the different space presets.
So I'm trying to figure out where we were with the mics and the cabinets and stuff. Is that
so you go up to, if you go to source,
Okay.
So click the source, and then under the DI and amp, under that knob
yes.
where the bleep is. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Okay.
I know sometimes it's really clean, but it's, you know, you have to know your way around sometimes.
And it's just swimming around, just doing that. That is just very cool.
Super fun to play. I love that one.
It's just the moving and the just the air and the space that you're feeling. Yeah. Throw me another one. Throw me another one.
All right, well, let's take a look at the list. Let's get something more adventurous. We've been spending a lot of time,
Yeah.
you know, in the normal zone. Let's see. Why don't we go for? You can go down to Wait for It.
Okay.
That's got a good. That's a good swarm feature. Beautiful pads and stuff that come sort of swell up after you play a nice long, just a nice held out chord.
Not unlike having a nice steak dinner and some baked potatoes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe give it a little more gas. Hit a little.
See, that just and again, it's just got that. And since that the swarm is doing this magnificent stuff, since it's resynthesizing the original tone, then that's what makes it really cohesive.
Yeah, it's really cool when you hear it open up that way.
Yeah.
It's because what it's doing is, as it swells in and opens up, it's taking grains from the softer velocities and taking all these little tiny bits, and then as it opens up, it takes bits and pieces from the higher and higher velocities. So it really opens up in the same way that the instrument does.
Wow, that's
an interesting.
That's what's
way to
so
go
cool.
About it, but it's,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it responds to the velocity. Yeah. So. So it's very dynamic and cohesive together. And so you can play that soft and it just kind of sits there waiting for you to just
pretty fun.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, so you don't have to have, a lot of times you have guys that love to have pads and stacks and layers. And so this takes that a concept and really makes it even more dynamic because it's using these samples and the source material. And yeah, so it's not a separate sound. It's actually a part of the dynamic of the sound. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's all connected, you know, and it kind of sounds that way. Let's see. What's another fun one? Well, let me go up a little bit. Let's use some of the. I'm looking for like a more adventurous one here. Oh, you know, I like glimmer and highlight.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, and I thought, okay. Well, Daniel, thank you so much. I enjoy doing this, and I hope that that's what you guys are getting from that is that some of my joy is spilling over. Yeah. Yeah. So the modulation kind of,
yeah, all the patches have stuff mapped to the mod, and the pitch wheel doesn't do pitch bend. It'll change the way that things sound.
yeah. I just saw that just barks. Yeah. You know, I'm trying to capture the MIDI, and I'm trying to capture the MIDI. I've got something that's kind of listening in the background that I've been experimenting with. Oh, no, see. If it's violin she wants, let them play. In your arms tonight, she'll reflect. You want to pay, find 100 ways. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, just that.
Yeah, if you go down to the patch called 3rd Street, I think that's kind of more that zone.
Okay, so you get me in trouble with all these sounds. It's just like we actually live close to 3rd Street.
Okay, well there you go.
Oh yeah. Phaser.
Yeah.
So somebody asked, do you have a Leslie? Are there any Leslie effects, like a Leslie speaker?
We haven't even talked about the effects section. Sure. If you click on source, each one of the 3 engines has a 4-slot effects. So if you go down to the bottom right, you'll see these 4 little dots.
My other right, yeah. I'm like watching video and like, okay.
I know.
My right and my left. Okay, yeah. So you've got 4 effects.
If you just click there, it's modular effects slots. So what you do under the modulation, yeah, exactly. You click right there where it says phaser.
Yeah.
Those are just the sort of types of effects that you can do,
Okay.
but you're already in the right spot for the Leslie. So if you want to go back up to modulation,
Okay.
and click that, and then click on where it says phaser, and then you'll see
rotator. There you go.
And then, and so the way it works is we put the the most usable control right on the front to try and keep it simple. But if you click that left arrow right next to where it says modulation, you can go into the deeper settings.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the distance and yeah.
Yeah. So each one of the effects, is like that. It brings up the most usable knob first, just to try and keep it simple, and then all those slots are swappable. So if you go under modulation, for example, you'll see at the bottom of the menu you can swap it to the right, and then it'll move it that way in the chain. Yeah.
And then if you're here, you can you can go to the left, or you can go back to the right, or you can go back to the left or to the right. Yeah, so you can so the slots can kind of dance around, and you can reorder the signal signal chain.
Yeah.
Daniel, we're basically just going through presets. So we're just basically going through the presets and kind of playing around. But you can save user presets, right? So if we so let's just say I just changed this to rotor. So how would we do that?
Okay.
So we would go.
You just click yep, exactly. You just click on the little save thing. Yep.
And then we can enter the name.
Give it a new name.
User 3rd Street. So so we can double click on that field, and so I can name that. Yeah.
And then just hit save, and you can actually even put your own tags in there.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that's incredible.
Let's do one more. What's an adventurous one? There's the one that says "You Had to Be There" isn't very adventurous, but I really like that one too. It's got the mechanical sound and the room vibe from the amp, and it's really just makes you feel like you're sitting in a room playing playing with the suitcase.
Yeah. You're gonna be there. You're gonna be there. Yeah, little Michael McDonald. Got such a long way to go. Yeah, just the feeling of it. And when you're hearing things, when you play things and hear things, your brain makes you think like, well, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting behind this Fender Rhodes, because I've sat behind Fender Rhodes before, and it's like it just feels so natural.
Yeah, all the mechanical samples are all 16 velocities too, so it's very detailed.
That is fabulous.
Well, here, let's see, what can we go out on? One last preset for the road here. What do we got? I don't know. What's towards the? I know I'm leaning in here. Everyone's getting a good look at my noggin.
Yeah. You might need to see a doctor about that right there. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Let's see. What would be a good? It's tough to pick. How about? I don't know. How about $6 Million Memory? Why not? This is one of the more sound designy, adventurous patches, just to kind of show
Steve
what you
Austin,
can do.
a man barely alive. We can rebuild him. We can make him better than he was. Better, stronger, faster. Oh yeah. you can just sit and listen to that percolate. And it's like its own arrangement type of thing. And it's things like this, and a lot of people say, I don't like all these auto-generated things. Well, the thing that I look at it is that they are like, you've got a bonfire sitting there, and these things are like the matches that you throw on to get the thing to blow up, because that's what
Right.
you need sometimes. Sometimes you get stuck in a rut. Sometimes you're hearing the same sounds, and all of a sudden you start hearing something like this, and it's just like things just kind of spark. So
No, that's true. I mean, from a practical standpoint, I mean, if you're working and you need to write music and you need to do it quick, like, this stuff is helpful. I mean, for me anyway, it's just, sometimes it comes down to you just got to move. I got to get,
you got to get something done.
I got to write 40 minutes of music in 2 hours.
Yeah, and it's not cheating because you're not copying anybody. You're just you got the spark. It's just like creates sparks. I mean, your brain just is such an amazing container. Like with me, I mean, everything that I've heard over my lifetime is somewhere up here, and all it takes, and we see it all the time. I it's so funny because it's not something I'm trying to force to happen. It's just something that just happens automatically. I don't have to think about it. I hear a sound or a chord, it takes me right into a theme song. It takes me right into a scene. It takes me on a planet somewhere. I'm standing on a barren planet somewhere. Like, I mean, I call it the theater of the mind. And these things are the ticket. My wife's probably saying, honey, you need to take a drink. So we're going to take a drink here. Man.
Well, that's great, man. I just, it's such a joy to be with you. And I just, I'm a big fan. I really appreciate all of the positivity and joy that you put out into the world. And I feel it. I just, I appreciate what you do.
Yeah,
so thanks for having me.
You're like right here, and see, you're in LA, and I'm here on the other side of the country, and it's and this instrument's bringing us together, and I think that is the power of what I love to share, and what I love to get out there is that these are not just bits of code or cold or lifeless things. These are instruments that have real people that are behind them, and it's so wonderful when I can bring somebody on and introduce you to all of you. It's just fabulous, and it just connects, and it gives you a greater appreciation for the instrument. Okay, wow,
awesome.
Okay.
Oh, I know it's a huge collection. What's that?
Oh. Somebody asked, did you put any Easter eggs in any of these?
Did you put any Easter eggs?
Yeah, you know how crazy we are. So this one guy watches all these Marvel movies at 0.25 speed, so he can make sure he gets all the Easter eggs. So that's where we are right now. There's got to be something else hidden in here.
That's funny. I mean, that might be a question for Rule. He's might have hidden a few Easter eggs in there that I don't even know about. But as far as what I'm privy to, I don't think so.
Yeah,
it's all one big Easter egg.
Yeah, absolutely. And you open them up. Right. It's so funny. Like the Activision guys when they were making. Oh man, I forget what it was. I can see it. But they said, don't put any Easter eggs. And they went in and put a whole other secret level in. So they weren't going to.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the muted Relic. So this is where you've duct taped this thing.
Yeah, well, you probably don't want to duct tape. It was gaffer's tape. There's
and there's a difference. There's a difference. Yes.
You don't want to put duct tape on your strings because it'll leave sticky stuff behind and tear all the felt off
man, I've been to so many churches and so many places. They got duct tape. They're taping the microphones cables down, and it's just like it's madness. And then later on, they're trying to take it up, and then they've got to buy all new cables, and they've got to call in the carpet cleaners and stuff. Yeah, it's just like okay. So I'm gonna do a quick PSA. Stay away from duct tape on the stage. Use gaff tape or stage tape because no residue. So that's a freebie, and it's going to save you a lot of headache over the course of your existence. Yeah, duct tape is for ducks. not for
And-
not for stages or pianos. So
That's right.
so this is the muted Relic. Uh-oh. Now see that F chord. When I come home, well, you know I wanna be the man who's coming home to you. You know, that F chord just always seems to trigger that song.
That's it. It's in there. The theater of the mind.
Yeah. Yeah, and just those. Those percussive things. So give me your favorite preset on this one.
Let's see. My favorite preset. Let's see. Probably of the ones that we're looking at, I like Banjo Future.
Oh. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I love ducks. Somebody said, "What did the ducks ever do to you?" Man, I love ducks. I'm a big fan. And we
As long as they don't ask me if I got any grapes, I'm good with the ducks.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we've got the fractals. And hear it. Just that rich, and let's just see. Yeah, so we've got the far mics. It's almost sound like an 8-bit chip tune.
Yeah, it's probably got the strike 8-bit on the attack.
Yeah. You got some butter? You got some hot butter with that? Yeah. Man. Arabian Nights and Arabian Days. Here's yeah. It's mystery and wonder. You know, that's what this is all about here. You know.
That's it, man. That's it. Whatever comes out, just be free. That's the best thing.
Be free, my son.
Just be free.
But see, that's out of a patch called Banjo Future. So don't judge a patch by its title.
That's right.
Because
It's hard to name these patches.
I know. I can't imagine. I mean, it's like you probably got one of those Brian Eno decks of cards with, you know,
cards,
like
right.
the oblique strategy cards for patch naming.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know
give
what
it.
we used to do at the studio? Just a quick aside: is we had a big, thick one of those fan out paint chip things from like Sherwin-Williams or something. And when we needed to name something, we didn't know what to name it. We'd go to just fan that thing out and stick a finger on it. And those paint colors are great. They have great names in them.
That's cool. That is so cool. Okay. Yeah.
But just to get an idea of how far you can take it, you know, we tried that Dragon Breath is sort of a pad.
Ooh.
That's made out of a long pad that's made out of a short sound.
And see there again. You hear the air around that thing. It's breathy and metallic.
Just gives you an idea of how far you can take things. It's really,
Yeah.
really, really flexible.
Wow. Okay. Let's go to the Obscura Grand. And thanks, guys, for sticking around. And again, this is Simeon from PraiseTracks.com. Been talking with Danny Dunlap of Skybox Audio. I want to say Skybox Audio. And then again, please subscribe and hit that like button, and that just helps us to keep going. So, you know, and it's all thanks to all of you guys, and thanks to companies like Danny's that have just been really supportive. And I am just very humbled and honored to be a part of that. Obscura Grand. Now, this is where you've taken the felt and kind of ran it in there.
Yes, the ubiquitous felted Grand. However, there's all different flavors of this, but this one is, again, going, as a working, just grinding, always having to, write different things, compose, or just, we try to make this as useful as possible. It's been my experience, like a lot of these were, on the market that are super dark and just, really, really, which is cool, but it's only really cool for a certain distance. So this one's a little more flexible. The mic positions on this guy, instead of a close and far, it's actually over under. And I'll stop talking so you can hear.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's got a nice attack to it. So you've not you've not felted all the attack out of it. So we still got that nice.
And again, because we were using the robot, we made the choice to still do 16 velocities, but to limit the voltage so that, it's really, you're not going to felt a piano and then bang on it, right? So that's kind of not the point. So we chose a more limited dynamic range, but still did 16 velocities. So we have a finer resolution of velocities where, sort of where you would want to play. So it really has a lot of sensitivity.
Okay, go ahead and say that one more time. I think we kind of froze. So go ahead and just say that again. I was just
explaining, like, because we were, because we used the robot, we were able to decide that, you're not going to felt a piano and just sort of play full bore on it. That's kind of, counterintuitive. It defeats the purpose, right? So we chose up to where we thought was as loud as you would want to play if you were going for that thing. And then we divided that up into 16 velocities. So it's a finer resolution at a slightly lower dynamic range to suit the sort of style of sample that it is.
Right.
And I think it just makes it really responsive and just feels good to play.
But see, you still got that enough time to get you that little, if you want it. Yeah. Yeah, someone mentioned, Justin mentions about each of these categories. There are 4 separate instrument libraries, and you guys took that extra step, which is it's a very big step to make these Kontakt player compatible, so they can be played in the full player. So I appreciate that. You know, that's it's a very big commitment on the part of the developer to go that route, and so
Sure.
yeah,
Well, I mean, we're all in on this. It's just we've spent a lot of energy, and so we felt like it deserved to have the biggest platform that we could to give it.
yeah,
And it's all NKS compatible too. Everything's all fits in that ecosystem as well. But yeah, I mean, so we right now for the intro since we're offering it as it was originally intended, which is as a complete set.
yeah,
That was our original vision for it. Now, as I said, because of some limitations of the delivery of native access, we had to divide it up, and eventually, here's an Easter egg. We will be offering them individually, but for now, we just want everybody to be able to experience the full thing as we sort of intended people to be able to have it.
And I think at the price point that it is now, that's a I mean, to get everything that you're getting with this is going to be the thing I would do. I mean,
Yeah.
and,
No, I think, I mean, for it's, it's easy to, I don't know. I think, I mean, just being full disclosure, it's there's a lot of noise in this space, right? I mean, just this week you got, a million things, like you said, coming out, and it'll be challenging for this being our first product for us to sort of educate people on, at least I believe that this just isn't just another product. I mean, this is like, it's a very premium and a product that you're going to get a lot of joy out of. And it's, I mean, I'm not saying that other products aren't premium, but it's hard to, to sort of convey that. I think that, like, hey, like, we're not just making noise over here. Like, this is
right.
Oops, sorry. That's funny. Ironic that I bumped the mic when
Yeah.
I said that. But yeah, I don't know. You see what I'm getting at. It's
Absolutely.
going to be tough for us to. We're sort of underdogging it a little bit, but
It's
we really
like,
believe in it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like like what you said, the space. There are thousands of piano libraries, literally. So it's like that is so important what you guys are doing to just kind of go a little bit above to say, hey, here we are. And I think once people
Right.
discover you, and especially because of the customer focus, with that 14-day policy and being able to work with people's budgets, with the payment options and that kind of thing, I think that tells me that you guys are focused on the customer. You're not just trying to rake in a bunch of stuff, because you've really put a lot into this, and so I think that. I think they're going to really appreciate that. So I know we've been here quite a while.
We have. But we're making it. It's an epic day today.
It is epic, and so and then once this processes, I'm going to put markers in here, and we're going to figure this out. Yeah, just so people can navigate. So let's just listen to another one of your favorites on this Obscura Grand.
Oh, sure.
And Dunlap Academy's rejoined us, so welcome back, guys.
That's great. Well, let's see. What's a nice one here? I like the dirt. What does it say? The dirt chunks. Dirt chunks is nice.
Okay. Oh, let's see.
It's got a real low end.
What
sort of
key
bassy.
are you going to go to?
Oh, yeah. What's going to happen?
Yeah. I'm just trying to stay with these two fingers here. See, you don't need 10 fingers because that's, but I like my 10 fingers. I don't want to change that, but.
Absolutely.
It's like Strangers in Paradise. And then that stuff going on. Here he goes, he's put more fingers on there. Yeah, see, there you go. All we need now is a MIDI, a voice to MIDI controller. But see, I'm not doing anything.
That's great.
And see,
even with the more adventurous and rhythmic patches, like for me as a writer, like we said before, like you were just performing with this sound, right? And it wasn't, it's kind of moving with you, rather than sort of. I mean, you're a beautiful player, and so you're going to make anything work. But we tried to make it. You can perform with these patches. It's not just that's kind of the idea.
Yeah. And yeah, because it's like what you said. It just like if you play a note and it doesn't pull you in, then you're going to go. You're going to go on. But that's what I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling like everything that I'm playing, it seems like it kind of just pulls you in a little bit more into it. It's cool. Really cool. I wasn't watching you while I was playing, but they said you were grinning quite a bit during that last.
I'm into it, man. I love it.
Okay.
It's like, that's why we're here, right? Music is beautiful. It just makes me want to play.
It's amazing. Yeah. It just makes you want to do some great things. Okay, let's just go ahead and hit the dulcitone and the last category. And okay, now tell us about this instrument here.
Well, this got an interesting history. This is there was a guy, and he's still around.
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody's at the door. Let me get that.
There's a guy in LA in the 2000s who was like the kooky chime keyboard guy, right? Like he sort of had a lock on. That's where everybody got their stuff from, Wow. Even a lot of other, samples of this type of instrument that are on the market. Most of them came from this one fella, and he had a place. I might be saying too much here. I don't think so. But he had a place. He had a house in Beverly Hills that was on the Star Tour route, right? But this house was falling down. It was like an original, So it's between, two giant mansions, and there's this shack that's like, it looks like it belongs in the woods. It's like just a really old house. And if this gets back to him, he'll probably laugh. But anyway, it was filled to the brim with just the rarest of rare, crazy stuff, And so I met him, and I went over to his place and got this from him, and then brought it back. And it was in pretty good shape when I got it, but I tore the whole thing down and rebuilt it,
Wow.
Just because these can be really finicky. They're really old, and the action can be finicky on them. And anyway, so that's the story of this instrument.
That's the Skype ringtone.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's what happens. Yeah. Oh, that's hilarious.
I mean, a dulcitone, if for those who may not know, it's a tuning fork piano. So inside of there are these U-shaped forks, and they're connected to the soundboard through a tiny copper spring.
Wow.
And the soundboard is so thin on the bottom of these things. Like, it's just like balsa wood thin.
Wow.
And this was sort of a traveling instrument in the late 1800s. The legs fold up. It was like, kind of the original Rhodes. Like, you'd fold the legs up and you'd take it to the gig.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a very just a delicate, beautiful sound that I love. And for the way that it's constructed for a chime instrument, it's it has a chunky sound, which makes it unique, that it has so much body.
Hear all those nice overtones and stuff going on there. Yeah. Okay. Tell me what's one of your favorite presets for this one.
Here we go again.
Oh yeah, man.
So much. Let's see. I mean, there's so many. It's hard to pick. I mean, sure, let's do, just because it's jumping out at me, you can do Every Halloween Night.
Oh no.
See if you can guess what that's going to sound like.
Oh no. Okay, so Daniel, I'm not sure what your question is about can you use it with workstations, or do you have to have a keyboard controller? This is a plugin. I guess it's a virtual instrument that uses Kontakt, so it works inside of your DAW. So yeah, you're going to have to use this in like your computer DAW, and so hope that helps. Oh yeah. My mama wouldn't let me watch too many Halloween movies. Oh. Wow, okay.
And again, that's being synthesized, with the grains from the original sample.
Swarm.
So you can drag that around and change and morph the character of the tone. You can also make, with the intensity knob, you could make the sound more or less intense, which is a fun control.
But I'm hearing the air. There's air around these sounds. There's just like a. And I just hear it just kind of whooshing. And, it's like, once again, we've got that little surprise in there. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Emmanuel. Yeah, so you can use a workstation keyboard as long as it outputs MIDI to your computer. That's, yeah. One-stop shopping, home, yes. One-stop shopping, there you go. Yeah, we've got your keyboards, we've got your dulcitones, we've got your grands, we've got, a keyboard for every occasion. Step right up.
That's right.
Okay. Let's get some more.
Oh,
yeah, Kontakt
sure.
Player. Yeah, so Kontakt Player does have a standalone. That's right. Yeah, so you don't actually need a DAW, so you can use it in standalone mode. So thank you for that, Pink Studios. That's great. Piffernick. Okay, here we go. Okay, thank you. So, wow. Okay, we're almost there.
Yeah.
We're almost home. So, give me another dulcitone preset.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you click some meta tags? Let's narrow it down a little bit.
Okay.
What's calling out to you?
Reverse, aggressive, rhythmic.
There you go.
Okay.
You only got you got one choice.
Anti-gravity. Ooh.
All right.
Wow. And the swarm. Yeah, we're all into swarms and fractals with this one.
Yeah, that's gonna. Actually, it's funny you picked this one. I had a good friend of mine who is the composer on CSI. Wrote me and said that he said I've used that anti-gravity patch on almost every cue since I got the thing. He's stuck on this one for now.
And again, it's kind of just like creating that mood. It's over here, Frank. Yeah. They don't have any security footage available, but I found this tissue paper in the corner over here. Looks a little messed up, you know. I don't know if we can get any DNA information out of it, but maybe the guys at the lab can see what they can do, you know. But see, yeah, just underscoring like that. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And when it said anti-gravity, I want to say, danger, Will Robinson, you know, so.
Right.
Yeah, it is just messed up, man. It is just so cool. Okay. Yeah, and the thing is, you got the beauty and the beast in all of these.
Right.
Is amazing. Okay. So the CELESTE. Oh man. Okay, this one's
funny. Dana Nielsen, the engineer's texting me. He says he's still on. I'm surprised. He's still with us.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Dana.
Yeah. You got to do that. Yeah, you got to do that, you know.
Perfect.
It's you I like. Yeah. You know. Hey neighbor, welcome. Welcome to the Celeste.
That's where I grew up in Pittsburgh. That's where all that went down. So it's got a special place for me for sure.
And you know, I like you just the way you are. Dan, don't change a thing. I like you just the way you are.
I needed to hear that today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you know, okay. Oh no, you're gonna do this to me. Someday we have a good day, and someday we have a bad. Sometimes we have excitement. Sometimes things just make us mad. But I'm so glad to be able to spend my time with you. What else am I gonna do? Yeah, man. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Beautiful. Yeah, it's just, I mean, my goodness. Okay, let's hit a, I mean.
I know there's a lot.
All of the things, all those little bits and pieces that are the character that we hear, it just communicates just, yeah, I don't know. It's just, yeah. And it's not just, it is beautiful. You know, I have a problem sometimes using that word just a lot. And this is not just anything. This is gorgeous.
Just is a word. If you're a songwriter, that's my least favorite word. I always, if I'm writing with somebody and I got a lyric, that's the first word that's got to go. Anytime you're singing just, you should be thinking more about what you're trying to say.
Yeah. Amen. Okay, let's try this. Let's try this browse the
get into the
meta tags. Okay, let's go to pad, roomy, and evolving.
There you go.
Okay, it glitters in the water.
It glitters in the water.
If it was my mother, she would say, "Don't put that in your mouth. Just don't touch that. I don't care what it is." Yeah, here we go. Okay, here we go. I'm just, yeah. No, just one. Let's just see what happens. That's intense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm doing. Bahu, 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 dores. Welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Yeah, but see it's the ice and the and we need some cool weather. I think it's 94 today here.
Oh, goodness.
With wonderful 85, 90% humidity. So we need to. Okay, let's hit the toy piano.
Yeah, do it.
That's
maybe the most deeply sampled toy piano ever created. Because we have the routine on the robot. We just we're just like, well, we're not going to skimp on the toy piano. We got to let it run the full thing. So
yeah, and you can that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Okay. See, the thing about the toy piano is that you've got all those overtones, and you can't really, when you play those chords, all those overtones start to collide.
Get clashing together, yeah. Yeah. But as toy pianos go, it's
beautiful.
It's a good one.
Oh yeah. So let's go to ARP. The triplet.
There you go.
Clock's in the attic. Well, the clock's in the attic and the silver spoon. Okay, yeah, okay.
That's not how that goes.
I know, but I don't know. It was close. The syllables were close. Clock's in the attic, cats in the the cadence was similar, so it kind of tricked. Okay, the strike. Okay, that's gorgeous, and yeah. Oh, let's see. That's wait. Oh, yeah. I really. And the answer is, what is a toy piano that has been processed, highly processed? Okay, I'm going to go back to the Modern Grand.
All right,
because,
take it back home.
Because that was the first thing I pulled up. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, instant. Lord, I will lift mine eyes to the hills, knowing my help is coming from thee. Yeah, that is. And you can bring it right back down. and this is just the default. So you just pull it up and go. So I'm going to see something here. Let's go to like a more concerty, big. So we go maybe wet, maybe.
Concerty big. There is, yeah, you can go wet or roomy too. Would probably get you there.
Okay.
There's one that is warm. No, not warm from afar. What's the one I'm thinking of? Actually, warm from afar is nice. That's more of a you know, with the orchestra, I think, kind of sound.
Yeah.
That's a sound that sometimes difficult to get to work, is, you know, that the piano in the orchestra kind of sound, and this is our take at that.
Well. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Beautiful playing, man. So nice to hear you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and it's all just right hot off the wire, and that's what I love. That's what I love. Yeah, and just putting you into that room. And you hear the dampers lifting off those hammers. Yeah, you hear that open up when you push that damper down. Well, fabulous, fabulous, man. You know,
cool.
We need to hang out some more, Dan. I tell you, Danny. My brother's name is Danny, actually. My younger brother. So, yeah.
That's great.
So
I've always been Danny. My dad's Dan, so I've just been Danny my whole life, which is getting harder and harder to pull off the older I get. But
oh yeah, and see, okay. Well, it's almost like being in love. See that dynamic? Well, it's almost man, I'm so glad we've had this time together. And it's because it's over. It's so nice that we've had this time to spend together, and I can. Yeah.
Well, I think we did it. This is like the Lord of the Rings of the walkthrough. It was like, you know, we're gonna have to break this up into
the Peter Jackson, the editor's cut. In other words, yeah. Hold my hand. Well, Dan. Thank you so much, and for joining me today, and thanks to all of you for joining on this really epic live stream. You know, they seem to kind of take on a life of their own when we do these. But man, I cannot tell you how appreciative I am for you coming on and just allowing me to experience it. You know, you guys provided a copy for me to be able to experience this. And remember, I know you guys have been hanging out with us, but after the live stream ends, make sure you leave a comment below because I'm going to be drawing a couple of winners and to get in touch with you guys so you can have your very own copy of this library. And make sure that you use all the links in the description for more information and to purchase that because that helps us as well. But man, we've hit some hammers and we've made some waves.
Right.
Well, Musictron is downloading now, and yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, so get it, go get it, and enjoy it.
It's such a pleasure, man.
So listen,
Really,
Dan,
seriously.
I will say goodbye to you, and we'll be in touch, and I just so appreciate it. Blessings to you and your family, and blessings for success for this venture, because I know it's going to really bring a lot of joy to those who experience this library. So thanks a lot.
That's what it's all about. Thanks for everybody for tuning in, and keep up the good work, Simeon. You're crushing it, man.
Thank you so much, man. So there you have it. It's just been an incredible journey, and you guys have been able to come along for the ride, and I think we've just had a really wonderful time together. So make sure you check out the links in the description and to learn more about this beautiful collection. And I hope to see you again real soon on the next live stream. Make sure you subscribe and do all those things, notifications and things, and we just look forward to having more time to spend on the next live stream or the next video. Until we see you, God bless you, and we'll see you real soon.